This is an after the work unscripted episode with two cool people from Shipments. That is me, Tanvi, self-proclaimed cool people, and Shubham. In this series, what we are trying to do is we are trying to pretend like forwarding employees and checking out some of the cool already available AI tools in the market and matching up to the use cases which we see with our real world users. In the previous episode, we checked out how you can actually use AI tool Comet for going ahead and logging inquiry, directly logging inquiry, reading inquiry from your email and directly logging inquiry into shipments, also searching rates for them. In this particular episode, we discussed that we would be also helping you understand how to search rates, but I think Shubham found something cooler. Shubham, what did you find? Please tell the world.
So I think the most dreadful day in every sales team member and managers and CEO and VP of sales is Monday. Monday blues are actual Monday blues for forwarding teams because that's the day when they review stuff. And one of the most challenging things I have discovered and I've discovered while talking to all these folks is that preparing for this review itself is a ritual which takes away their whole Friday and they cannot party because they have to make the dashboards. Right. So they can't party.
So we are single-handedly saving Fridays
Yeah,
today
yeah.
because
So that's the very reason I said let's save people from this ritual of building dashboards on Friday and not being able to party.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
more interesting to do. So that's what we are looking at. How you can combine the cool dashboards we have built,
Hmm.
ready to use ones, and
So everybody, those who are existing users of shipments already understand that there are inbuilt analytics or dashboards that you can see for different departments. However, this dashboard is again a representation of data. The interpretation still requires someone to read it, right?
so
So
what we have tried to build is, and I proudly say it, that we don't need brain in the branding because our dashboards are way too smarter and they're AI ready because they are able to give the trends very easily out in the visualization itself. So any AI agent or even business analyst can go and read through it and spot growths and everything. But how can I make business analysts, all these sales folks, and VP of sales free on Friday?
or for that matter, if some businesses do not have a business analyst,
Correct.
how can we optimize existing users itself or existing team members who don't come from a data analysis background, right? So essentially, already with Shipments' dashboard, if you want to share your screen and show those dashboards as well, so essentially Shipments' dashboard is already skipping a lot of sections in data preparation, right?
Correct.
You are not having to आपको Excel download करके उसको चार्ट वगैरह में नहीं डालनी पड़ रही है एनालिसिस इट्स ऑलरेडी देयर एंड अभी हमारे बॉस को कुछ कहना है और इफ आई एम द बॉस एंड आई नीड टू गेट सम आंसर्स राइट. So Shubham, I can see that you have already done some amount of legwork to save some time. I think the first, because we have never done this before, the first initial in even in the last episode we discussed that AI is supposed to be treated as an intern, right? But then it is a very smart intern. At least the first time it's going to take minimum 10-15 minutes to figure things out to read your screen. So Shubham took that initial work where he gave this particular prompt.
Just to give a quick intro, how can you use what we are using right now?
Hmm.
You can sign up with Claude.
Yeah, so today we are trying to use Claude, right? That's an introduction.
Be aware about Claude now. We have the plugin for Claude available in Chrome. You can, once you have signed up, you can just activate it very easy. We will give you the steps as well in the comments of.
Just like GPT, some amount of Claude is already free for people, right?
Free at least for 6 to 7 prompts a day.
Hmm.
So on the day of review, you can use this free tool very easily.
Yeah.
And you will be done and dusted.
So Shubham's screen, he has downloaded Claude or he has gotten himself a Claude extension on Chrome. And on the left side, we have the dashboard that we have prepared. There's a sample dashboard that goes into shipments as well. This is a sample dashboard that's open. So you would ideally have to be logged into shipments as well while you're opening this Claude and putting the prompt.
Correct. So it's intelligent enough. The plugin is intelligent enough to even log in for you and open the dashboard directly. I have not done that because that's something which we showed already using Comet. Same thing Claude can do as well. What I've tried to do is and reviews the top 3 or 4 questions which is always asked by CEOs and VP of sales to the whole team is A, tell us the performance by branch, performance by commodity, trade lane. So you're trying to give a executive summary to the CEO, and then he asks for risk patterns, and that's the more harder part to solve because pivots in Excel can take you any this further only that it can give you summaries, but Excel cannot give you risk parameters that which customer is risky, has low
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That still needs someone
correct.
to interpret it by
Yes,
looking at
yes,
the
and it takes a lot
information.
of time to get to that
Yeah.
kind of interpretation. And the third question, which is always there, is you are analyzing your growth towards a target being set. Let's say a target is being kept for this particular company. Let's call it Octa Freight. Right now, they are at 127 crores revenue year to date, and the target is to reach 200 crores. So they want to reach 200 crores. They want to do a GP of 15 crores. Now, if that target has already been set, what needs to be course
Which is
corrected?
usually done,
Correct.
right?
Yes,
You usually at the beginning of a fiscal year or a quarter, for if you're really serious about your business, you will sit and take time to
correct,
do that. And then there are some businesses who want to do it, but they don't have the visibility.
correct.
Like I'm still sitting with my auditor to figure these things out, which should not be the case. I should not have to depend on an external party. सबके पास में in-house auditor नहीं होती है, right? So I should not have to depend on an external party to give me this information. I'm losing my night sleep. If I'm a business owner, I'm literally losing my night sleep to without the visibility and on the blindness. So Shubham has already asked it some questions, and what we can do right now, Shubham, if you want to it has given if you scroll through right now, it has given like a very nice summary on the
Correct. So
questions.
it has been able to do without going into dashboards. You are getting an executive summary that what is your logistic product price miss, and it is also giving you a risk analysis that your business is almost entirely dependent on ocean export forwarding. And God forbid there is something just like we had a Red Sea blockage and we had a evergreen episode where the whole Suez Canal was blocked. Your
Also,
whole
which
business
ports you are focused on,
correct,
right?
correct. So it will spot. So what it has tried to do
Also the growth patterns I can
yes,
see.
yes.
It's
How much have you grown in comparison to last year? How much have you grown month on month in this particular year? And the most important part it is able to do is it is able to tell you which are the customers where there is a loss. It has almost highlighted that there is a customer which is giving you the highest amount of revenue, but there is a exceptionally high loss. So there might be some billing which is not being done on time, or we have incurred loss to take up that business. And it is also saying by looking at the pattern that air export is showing some amount of growth. Air import business is already a nascent business, is not growing at all, it's flatline. And ocean import has loss making in it. Almost
improving but loss making, it
yes.
says.
So
So it has given in terms of executing stuff, there's this term, right? Executive summary gets thrown around a lot, but this is like a true executive summary. One important thing that I do want to point out, it's because the dashboards in within shipments are also put out in such a fashion that it is able to read and exactly get to that
correct. So
stage, right?
it is able to tell us month on month and comparison to previous year or how have you grown because our dashboards power previous year to this year comparison right away from out of the box. Nobody has to actually make anything or manually or download 2 dashboards. If you see this, it is actually showing you what is your revenue growth for export forwarding in
Right.
comparison for both the products and how has it fared in comparison to last year. So how has your volume been growing in comparison?
Can we, Shubham, so can we ask it some risk related questions? Say, I think obviously a summarization and where I'm doing more or less, most businesses have an idea, but then we know numbers are power, right? Knowledge is power or data is power. So even if you, as a business owner, you might have some idea, in some cases, you might not know the exact number. Now let's come to a very critical part, right? De-risking something with the help of why do you even need this data in the first place? Either you course correct or you make a better decision or you bring a risk to neutralize state or something,
Correct.
right? So now there's a question which Shubham just asked. Shubham, can you go to that question which you just asked? How can we de-risk dependency on few focus?
It works like a business analyst. It creates a plan first.
Hmm.
Once you approve on the plan, it will go throughout the dashboard and execute the plan and give you a summary.
Yeah, yeah.
By the time it does, it has already, I have specifically asked him a de-risking question, but it has already given me an overview around how can we de-risk. So I want to first walk you guys through that it is saying that in air there is a single carrier dependency on Singapore Airlines, a 61%
Wow.
tonnage is
Wow. So it has already listed the risk. So I am now further on
further
top of
drilling
that
down.
drilling down.
Yes.
Okay, one risk point maybe how do I solve it, right?
Time I'm reading the summary, it is already going throughout the
Yeah.
dashboard, scrolling up
And
and down.
preparing the question that we asked it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it has also given us, because we have month-on-month dashboard.
So for the users of Shipments, we'll be anyway putting this prompt in the description of this video.
They will not need it.
Yeah.
Cooking something new.
Yeah. So again, once again, we are already building AI agents within Shipments.
Yeah,
We
but
spoke
till
about
then,
it. But till then, right? And say if you did not want to invest in additional agents and whatnot, there are some agents which are present, right? There are basic AI tools. So difference between basic AI tools and agents, we will keep covering them as we go along, so people are a little more informed. But our goal is, people become continuously aware. Other industries, even us, when we are working every day, we work a certain way and we see use cases which are very easily possible to be picked up. It's just लोगों को पता नहीं होता है कहाँ से pick up करे, किसको क्या use करे. And then there are many people from different backgrounds also that are working in logistics industry. So these are some small ways that we would like you guys to become a little bit more aware.
So two questions which I asked him was,
Yeah.
okay,
Hmm.
how do I de-risk my vendors and how do I de-risk customers? Because in your business, most of the time, basis on 80/20 rule, most of the time 60 to 70% of your business is coming from your top 5 or 10 accounts. But if they go haywire, how do you plan for contingency? So it is giving you a contingency plan.
Contingency is, yeah.
10 new active accounts in fiscal year 2026, and it's combining two questions. Now, how intelligent is that? It is doing de-risking, plus it is combining the growth question we had put on to him, that to down, sorry.
I think
Yeah.
stick to it, man.
Yeah. So we had asked it that 200 crores revenue target, 15 crores GP. It is actually telling that which are the type of customers we should be focusing on.
Yeah, so if it were someone that is in sales also, I mean, right now we are talking about where we are at, right?
Yeah.
And then it is also giving an indication of where you should be focusing, which even for someone within sales can understand, okay, these are the areas or these are the kind of customers that I should be narrowing down on, right? And then I think I have a pretty I feel like if
It has also answered to the last question I had asked.
so the question was, Shubham's question once again for everyone was that we are working with certain carriers, we are concentrated with certain carriers. How can we de-risk dependency on few focus carriers, right?
Has given us that what are the top three carriers. So 51% volume is coming from MSC, CMA.
Yeah, so say tomorrow MSC increased your price. Out
Correct.
of that,
How do you
yeah.
dilute some of this while keeping the volumes with them?
Hmm.
How do you, so what it is actually trying to do is remaining 51% is coming in a very diluted long tail. So how can you develop from that long tail few more stronger carrier connections so that you are able to not just have complete reliance on them? So,
and this is a very solid business strategy. See, we are not here to teach anyone business strategy. I'm sure the owners out there would know their businesses better than us.
yeah.
But I think this is something that I had also published in one of our newsletters, Shipping Signals, that diversification has so much power in it, right?
Correct.
And you'd never know the amount of uncertain growth that is happening right now. So according to that, it is making a very distinct recommendation. What are the other risk questions that we could be asking it, right?
Before the risk question, what I want to also show is when we had asked him the original question of scaling, it has actually given us a scaling strategy, and it is in connection with what you said. Strategy is not fancy words being put into slides. It is actually executable things what you can do. So it has given pillars of growth, how you can make sure that your primary growth driver, where can you fix your margins, where can you activate a particular branch which is not performing as per what it should be, and what you can do to further diversify that particular line of business which is already strong. So it is saying that you can start doing Africa trade lane, you can start growing your business in reefer containers, which is actually a high margin business, right? And you already have some amount of pharma customers and some amount of volume on top of which you can build more and get better rates and increase. And it is giving you how much you can, even the potential of growth it is being put there. So 25
So
crores get
another thing that I want to add in as Shubham is explaining this, see, it is just detailed on one central dashboard which we have, which is the business health pulse. That's the kind of dashboard which we have for seeing an overall health of
that
a
is for
business,
CEOs
right?
and
Yeah, it's
VP of sales.
primarily designed to be made for CEOs, anyone CEO. And by the way, it's also accessible on Shipments' mobile app. Just saying. So if a CEO were walking into a meeting, or they don't have to like call up their team and ask questions like what is happening and tell me about this customer and whatnot, right? What's interesting is if I went to some other dashboard, right, within Shipments, I could also do this same thing with the other dashboard, say operations related dashboard, right, or a customs related dashboard, or an ocean export, air export, whatever, right? Sales related dashboard. And we have so many dashboards and analytics. Each and every department has one. So you could literally do the same thing over there and ask a little more specific questions with respect to that function. Yeah. So which trade lanes should I diversify into and how? So that's the question which Shubham is asking now. And then Claude recommended what it's going to do. So it's a very good intern. It tells you these are the things which I'm going to do for you.
You can actually literally detail it down, see a drill down, see what it is doing, what it is doing. You can actually guide sometimes, also pause and say, don't do this step.
So right now it has figured out which trade lane should I diversify into and how.
It is
And
going as
it is
fast.
quickly reading the existing page that is there. So it's the same thing, right? Like the last question, it's going to read for a couple of minutes and then it's going to come back to us with a proper suggested plan. Now, whether you choose to follow and execute that plan is obviously a decision. That's the human part, right?
That's where your
Yeah.
the whole idea around doing this.
But again, Shubham, once again, what I think what we are forgetting over here while we are caught up in looking into all of this is, say, right now, even to get to this stage, we are skipping like 3-4 stages.
Okay.
Koi data, again, once again, reiterating, someone would have to pull up your operational ERP's reports.
Correct.
They would have to parse those reports, clean up that data, figure out if there's a missing data, put in that missing data, put that together in an analytical format.
It takes what I have seen while
I don't know. Yeah, forever, right?
it takes almost a day or two for business. If
For
companies
if
have,
someone comes from a background of data analysis, a day or two, if someone comes from a background.
the CEO himself is doing these pivoting, playing.
I don't get it. I don't feel like a CEO's time should go, or a very critical person in the organization, their time is also the resource. That should not go into preparing charts and preparing data.
Yeah.
Their time should go into actually getting into this dialogue of where should I be, what should I be doing, make a call and get executing that call, right? So something like that. So yeah, there you go.
Writing down the summary that which ports, which TUs you should target more. It is actually telling which country, which segments you can target more to diversify. South Africa, you can target a 600 containers target, and it is trying to give you based on the analysis it has already done.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool that you can also see the analysis and give your inputs for recorrection to chat to Claude, and it will give you a lot of good insight. So instead of you having to spend time in building those pivots and coming to a visualization,
Yeah.
you're spending your time thinking strategy.
That meeting, correct, that meeting then becomes not me explaining or owner getting explained that this is what is happening.
Correct.
That meeting then goes into, okay, this we know is happening, what do I do about this, right? And that's what is needed more than this is what it is. You should know this is what it is at the tip of your tongue or at the tip of your fingers.
In a review meeting, you come out with a call to action is what I would like to
Yeah,
conclude with.
yeah.
that you will always come with a call to action rather than just having a dump of information.
So,
करो क्या इस information?
so, ladies and gentlemen, we are again going to put out this prompt, but we would love if you want to go out and try. You can go ahead, download Claude from Claude's own website, and it has a desktop version as well, which is even more cooler. But try out the web version first and see how it
I
looks
think
like.
we'll show something very cool from Claude Desktop next time.
Yeah,
For
yeah. But next time we have to get back to the rate,
yeah,
the analysis.
if something more cooler doesn't appear, but surely
Yeah,
will
yeah,
not be.
absolutely. So thank you so much once again for joining us for another episode. Looking forward to test out something once more after work in next episode.
Perfect.
Take care, bye.
Bye bye.